Well, it looks like it's gonna be a rainy last drive in the Escape. Seems pretty suiting. This is gonna be it. I'm not as sad about it as I was, but I'm still pretty sad. I'm giving it up. We're giving it up for something newer. We are giving it up for something that has a warranty period. Not only a warranty period, but it's a certified pre-owned warranty. So it's just it's gonna be weird. There was a stray cat just coming up my driveway. I'm gonna miss being up high. I'm gonna miss being eye level with the drive-through windows and stuff. But in a way, I'm kind of glad to be going back to a sedan, because I kind of miss having a sport feel. You can't really be all sports in an SUV, obviously. So the Fusion's gonna have a little more fun when it comes to driving and just the sport feel and stuff. And if when the Aztec is running, that's gonna pretty much suit me as my SUV. So if I ever need that feeling, I have that, and when it goes, and I guess it really doesn't matter. But this won't be my only SUV. I'm sure I'll end up getting another. I'm sure I'll end up getting another one. So let's go to work. This will be my last time driving the Escape. One final driver's point of view in the Escape. But she was a good ride. She was a comfortable ride, but it being an SUV and such, you make a corner and stuff, you get your little dip, very rocky, in certain road types and stuff. Never really bothered me much, but going back to a vehicle that's not as choppy is going to be it's going to be a nice little change of pace. The newer SUVs, I don't think really feel like this does. I know the new Escapes don't feel like this. This road is awful. All they do is put patches over it, so it's still really bumpy no matter what you're in. Alright, this is going to be it. So you can hear the clunk. Well, now who put this here? I could squeeze through this. Sheesh, just barely. Alright. I have a Parker here for the last time. I gotta get the rest of those clothes and stuff out of the back. It's still raining. And that's it, guys. Got both keys with me. Okay guys, so it's been a couple of days since I actually signed and traded over the Escape. So that was on July 31st. Today is August 2nd, and I can finally show you guys the car because I technically took the delivery of it on August 1st, which was yesterday, but it wasn't entirely cleaned up or anything. So when I was at work today, our detail crew, who do a really good job, they took care of the car finally for me while I was working, and when I got off work the car was ready, and it looks as new as it's ever gonna be with me, probably. Because I like to keep my cars clean and detailed, but this is gonna be the nicest this car is gonna look. So anyway guys, here it is, the newest vehicle to enter the family, my 2015 Ford Fusion S. So yep, this is it. I went back to a silver sedan resembling that of my previous Pontiac Grand Prix, but this is it. It's Ingot Silver Metallic is the color name. And like I said, this is an S, so there are some, you know, cosmetic and feature differences, of course. The S is the base Fusion. As a matter of fact, I have a copy of the original window sticker, and there are no options on this whatsoever. This is as stripped down as you can get with an S, and it's still a great car. It still has so many nice features that, well, please me. It's pretty much the same as, you know, when I was talking about the Escape S's, how, you know, Ford just throws in all of these features as standard on the base models, that, you know, features that I am completely happy with. But the nice thing is, it's still a really good looking car for just it being a base. The one thing that's kind of funny are the wheels, because these are 16-inch wheels, and they're multi-spoke, and they're nice. They're actual wheels. Years ago, these used to be hubcaps. You couldn't really get rims on a base Fusion, I don't think, but this one, no hubcaps. We have actual wheels, so you can see the four-wheel anti-lock disc brakes behind them. I'm not used to seeing Fusions with 16-inch wheels. The 5-spoke rims are 17-inch, and those are the ones that I ideally like. But these are nice wheels anyway. Another thing is the black cladding at the very bottom. Anything above an S doesn't have that, so the Fusions, the base Fusions, have black cladding all the way around the bottom. Of course, there's no kind of marquee here signifying what trim it is. You still get LED tail lights. You still get chrome underneath the windows, color matching door handles, powered mirrors with color matching caps, and integrated blind spot mirrors. The headlights are automatic, and they do have the projector beams on them, so that's really cool. These are also daytime running lights. You still get a nice chrome front end. No fog lights. But yeah, I mean, seriously, it's a nice package for it being a base. The inside, they cleaned the seats, so this seat was still kind of wet. They put plastic down for me. But anyway, the S models came with black and earth gray, I think is what it's called. So earth gray seats, followed by the black interior with metallic accents, and I love the metallic accents. So I think this is a really awesome color combination. I do know that these seats are going to be hard to keep clean, not only because of the color that it is. This is the first time I've actually had gray seats since my Bonneville, my 92 Bonneville. But the fabric, you know, it's not carpet anymore. They have like, you know, you can hear it. It's a fabric that's hard to keep spots off of. So I'm sure one of these days I'll figure out a nice way to do it. But you've got your power door locks. I already mentioned power mirrors. All of the windows are powered. The driver's window actually is one touch down and one touch up. So that's the first car I've had with both features. Integrated cup holders in the door pockets, of course. In the back, not too much back here. There really isn't anything back here at all. There is a 12-volt power outlet at the very bottom of the center console. The seats do fold down. You get more door pockets. And I think you could put drinks in there because there's really no cup holders. I don't think this doesn't come down on this car. Usually there's a armrest here, but since this is a base, so you put your drinks in the doors. Ah, so clean. I'm gonna be so sad when this car starts getting dirty. Yeah, so you know, I've mentioned it a million times. And you know, even when I was thinking about going into a Ford Fusion, you know, I originally looked at a silver one that was a fully loaded SE, and it was almost the complete opposite of everything this car has. The one that I originally looked at was all black inside, had black leather. It had the 8-inch touchscreen with My Ford Touch, had the 2 screens in place of this standard gauge cluster here, and it was just really sharp. But you know, it's a lot of things that I don't need. Like, you know, I'm not asking for any of that, but when I tried to get it, it was just one of those kind of like what we did with our Fiesta. It was just nicely loaded, and it was like, you know, it's all there, it's just a bonus, you know. But this car is nicely equipped for base model, and I am very satisfied at the time. You even get a switchblade key. First time I've ever had one of these. Got to be very careful not to destroy this because these are very expensive to replace. I do have to put gas in it. So yeah, standard gauge cluster with an 8,000 RPM tach, coolant gauge at the bottom, and a 160 mile per hour speedometer with fuel gauge at the bottom. I am perfectly happy with the analog gauges. I like needles and stuff, so I really like this gauge setup. Even though the screen with the cluster with the 2 screens on the side and the speedometer in the center, it looks cool and all, but I like this. This honestly entertains me a little more. And then on the S, you get this smaller display here in the middle that shows you all kinds of information. As you can see, this car only has 34,590 miles at this time. Since I brought it home yesterday, technically was the first day I owned it, I have gotta figure out how to read this yet. Yeah, so I have put 64.4 miles on it as of right now, and this is really cool because this trip meter is going to keep track of what my average miles per gallon usage has been since I've owned it. How many gallons of gas I think I've used is what this is. So we've used almost 2.5 gallons of gas since I've owned it. And there's also a vehicle timer which counts how long the car has been on. So all of this was reset yesterday before I drove the car off the lot. So that is all of the time that I've put into driving this vehicle thus far. So at the end of this, you know, we'll have a lot more stats, you know, when the time comes to get rid of this one. and we'll find out exactly how much gas I put into it throughout my entire ownership and whatnot. But the steering wheel, first car that I've had in a long time, actually first car since my very first car, which was my Sunbird, to not have a leather wrapped steering wheel. And that is one thing that I miss because I like the feel of the leather. However, the Fusion steering wheel without leather is thicker. So I like the thickness of the wheel. It's got the grips on the back. It's been a long time since I've had a car with that. So it's actually a nice wheel to hold on to. Plus you have these extension grips on the side. Kind of reminds me of the older Pontiac wheels, to be honest with you. Like all my Pontiacs had thick wheels like this. And I love that feel. It's definitely a sport feel. But it's got the diagonal pad for the display screen on the cluster. This is the diagonal pad for the stereo system. We've also got cruise control, and we have all of our audio and voice command and hands-free phone controls right there on the wheel. Of course, we have electric powered steering. As mentioned, we have automatic headlights with daytime running lights, our dimmer controls, and our trunk release over here. Just our turn signal stock with high beams, of course. Windshield wiper stock. So this one has the 4.2-inch display screen in the center. It's a colored display screen, and I'm happy with just this setup. Like I said, I don't have to have the touchscreen. Touchscreen, they're nice, but I like buttons, and I think the buttons give the interior character. You know, this whole setup here, it looks unique compared to a touchscreen. You don't really have a whole lot of character with a touchscreen, so I like this layout a lot. It's a very awesome layout. Another bonus, even though I'm really not going to use it all that much, is it's got a backup camera. So once it's in reverse, the backup camera is displayed. And like I said, it's an S model, so it's really impressive that you get a backup camera on a base model. And I still have a CD player, you know, because I'm a 90s kid. We have single zone climate controls here. They're manual. I like that. Down here we have storage pockets. We have a 12-volt power outlet. As mentioned, I think I mentioned it, this does have sync, which was standard on the Fusion S. So I have sync, Bluetooth connectivity, voice command. Everything that my Escape had is pretty much here, and I'm happy with that. We have a shifter with a leather base or leather boot. This does have sport mode, and it has manumatic shifting. So first car I've had with manumatic shifting. We have two cup holders, electric parking brake. Not 100% crazy about having an electric parking brake, but I guess we'll see how it goes. In here is where your USB ports are, and of course just a storage console. I got a free pen. The pen was in the car when I took delivery of it, so that's awesome. Large glove box, larger than the last one anyway, than the Escapes. Does have the manual and stuff. Of course I have that in the house and already placed with the rest of my collection. Manual dimming mirror, so it's old school. We do have lighted vanity mirrors. Two map lights, LED map lights. Of course we have our interior lighting controls. You can turn off the door lights when the doors are open. And a place for a pair of glasses. No sunroof. I decided to sacrifice the sunroof. I am going to miss having my sunroof, but it's okay. It's okay. It's not that big a deal. Now, it's no SUV, of course, but the Fusion does offer a pretty nice trunk. And I like the fact that the opening is so large. It really comes down, so it's not hard to put things or take things, you know, in and out of there. So the trunk's nice, and you definitely get more room when the seats are down. So I'll miss having the versatility of an SUV, but I think this is a pretty decent sized trunk. And when that thing's running, you know, that'll count as my SUV for a while. Now let's check out the power plant. So this Fusion and all S Fusions come equipped with the 2.5 liter Duratec 4-cylinder. This is the exact same engine that was just in my Escape. So not much has changed there. No turbocharger, no nothing. It's just the same engine that my Escape had. Still a pretty decent amount of workroom. This engine makes 4 more horses than in the Escape, my Escape. So we're at 175 horses and 175 pound-feet of torque. Definitely, this engine definitely feels different in this car compared to the Escape. It does pick up a lot quicker and it's a lot more fun. But I do like the idea of not having the turbo on it, just having a naturally aspirated engine. And since, you know, I've had this engine in the Escape for about 3 years, I know it's been a good engine. This one's still young, and hopefully we get the same amount of good luck with it as we did out of the Escape. And she's all clean under here. Nice and shiny. The one thing I am going to do is, not right away, but I'm going to have to wait a little bit. We are going to upgrade the speakers in this car because this is the base 4-speaker sound system. And it sounds very similar to how my Escape sound system was when I first bought it. So I'm going to buy the kicker speakers again because I really did like the kickers. Even if I brought them with me out of the Escape, they won't fit in here. I think these speakers are actually round, from my understanding. They're actually round, and the Escape had like the oval shaped speakers. But I definitely want to do the 2 in the doors up front first. I don't know if I'm going to do the ones in the back because you really can't hear the back that much compared to the front. Even when the fade is all the way in the back, it still kind of sounds far away. So I may not even bother with changing those out right away. But we will do the ones in the doors up front, and we're going to do them right this time. I am not going to cut off the wiring harness from the factory wiring. This time we will make sure we have the proper harness to plug the new speakers into the adapters, which I didn't realize they made at the time. And even then, I just wanted to get my speakers in, so I didn't even want to waste my time ordering them or whatnot. So that's really the only thing that I have on the agenda for this car. And that might be the only thing that I have for a long time. Now, this car is a Ford CPO, which means it is certified pre-owned. I still have the original bumper-to-bumper warranty, but once that expires, I will have a 7-year or 100,000-mile warranty on the powertrain for as long as I own the car. That's another reason why I bought this one. Not only was the price range really good, but the fact that it was a certified pre-owned. So God forbid anything goes wrong, it should be taken care of, and I'm really hoping that we don't have anything go wrong with this car. You know, the Escape spoiled me really well, and I really hope that this Fusion will treat me just as well, if not better. Like I said, there's only not even a handful of issues we've ever had with the Escape in the 3 years that I've had it. And like I said, I just hope that this one gives me the same amount of good Ford experience, I guess. Good Ford ownership like the Escape had. The Escape was my first Ford, and that's coming from me buying GM cars my entire life. So getting the Escape was my first switch over to Ford. I most certainly have been happy ever since, and this is my second Ford, and I'm hoping this will keep my satisfaction with Ford going as well. Alright guys, so let's go ahead and shut it off. And I got one more awesome thing to show you guys. Now, I am honestly really surprised that this car has this. I knew that nicely loaded SE that I looked at had this, but I wasn't really expecting this with this one. So when you take the remote and you unlock the car, it was already unlocked, but if you unlock it and you hold the unlock button down, the windows come down.
all 4 windows roll down. And honestly, the only time I'd ever seen that feature is on a Mercedes. Isn't that something? And this is a base Fusion that has that feature. If you want them to go up, you lock it, you hold the lock button down, and they roll up. How cool is that? Now, you can obviously turn that feature on or off, but I didn't even know that this car had that until I was scrolling through the menu in the gauge cluster and I came across that. But yeah, so this is it. This is going to be my next car for a while. And I love it. It's such a good driving car. I'm really impressed with how it drives. And I always said if I was ever going to go back to a sedan, this is what I would choose. So as much as I'm going to miss having the SUV, I'm really happy that I got back to something that feels a little more sporty and fun compared to how an SUV feels. So guys, I'm going to wrap this up now. I hope you guys enjoyed this feature, and I hope you're looking forward to seeing the content on this car. Hopefully we don't have a lot of bad content, but once I get to know the car a little more and stuff, I'll make a video kind of stating the things that I like, the things that I hate, if anything, you know. So give me a little time to learn the car a little more, and I'll have eventually, you know, an update video on that. We'll of course have an oil change video, but it won't be due, of course, for 5,000 miles because it just got done. But yeah, new car, new content. So if you guys enjoyed this and you guys like the Fusion, any kind of support, you know, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to comment and subscribe. Check out teespring.com/store/bikesvehiclespotlight for all of your MVS and vlog merchandise. I will see you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching, and take care. It's gonna rain. They just detailed my car and it's gonna rain.